The next thing is information, or info as it's said on the web, like on your Facebook and so forth. Think of it in terms of your online resume. Think of it in terms that what happens, like for instance, if you're going to go out scoping for a job, nowadays what our employees are doing is they are scoping out your social media. They will hunt it down and they will look to see how you're connected and what your credentials are, and if what you're really telling them is true. That brings me over to social media facts. Now I found this on the web and I found it to be very interesting. I'll just read this verbatim and I'll give you the facts on top of that. And that is, many hiring managers like to look at the profiles of applicants on social networks. What you have on your profile could make the difference in getting the job or not. In 2008, CareerBuilders.com released a study that found 1 of 5 employers search social network sites to help them with their hiring decisions. 1/3 of those surveyed said that they didn't hire someone because they had seen a candidate's profile. One can imagine that as social networks become more prominent, the number will rise. The study shows that the areas that were most concerned on most social networking sites were included, and this is what they said. Like for instance, information about alcohol and drug use. 41% of managers said that was a top concern. Inappropriate photos or information posted on a candidate's page. 40%. Poor communication skills, 29%, which goes back to the slang and so forth I was referring to. Bad mouthing of former employers and fellow employees, 28%. One case in point, which I will leave names out in this, a friend of mine was let go from an establishment that they were working at. They decided that they were going to post a group of why not to visit that establishment. Now, the problem here is the fact that now a potential employer that would think about hiring that person is now seeing that this person, as a reactionary measure, would do things that would take away from the business. Once again, they put it out there, it's out there now, and people can see it. So yeah, bad-mouthing employers is not a good idea. Inaccurate qualifications, 27%. Once again, what you put on your profile matters. So if you're going for a job in firefighting, but all you've ever done was sit houses, it's going to show. You know, it's garbage in, garbage out, and whether you're telling the truth. If you're over-embellishing, it'll be there. Unprofessional screen names, 22%. Notes showing links to criminal behavior, 21%, and confidential information about past employers, 19%. Once again, what you put in your information matters. So if you're going to really go after the job market, make sure what you're putting out there on your social media, especially in your info, make sure that emulates who you are and what you're going to go about. What I've done with my own personal profile on Facebook is I incorporated my actual resume. So when you go onto Facebook, you will see my qualifications. You'll see fun facts of movies and things that I like, and like game shows and all that fun stuff. But you'll also see what I'm about and how I relate. Questions? All right. Let's move on to photos.